Let's cut the nonsense. It's time we had a brutally honest conversation, because some of you are wasting your life, not because you're not capable, not because you're not smart, but because you keep making stupid decisions that go against everything you say you want. Yeah, I said it. You're being stupid, not permanently, not fundamentally, but moment to moment, every time you betray yourself. You say you want to get healthy, but you scroll for an hour instead of moving your body for 5 minutes. You say you want to build something, yet you hit snooze 10 times and call it a slow start. You say you're done with toxic people, but the second they text, "I miss you," you're already halfway back into hell. That's not weakness, that's not bad luck. That's a lack of self-respect in action, and I get it. I've been there. But I'm telling you, nothing changes until you stop lying to yourself and start taking yourself seriously. You know what success actually is. It's not some giant achievement. It's a choice, one choice after another, choosing what aligns with your future instead of what comforts your fear, and it all starts with one radical shift: focus on yourself. Not in a selfish, I'm better than everyone kind of way. I'm talking about intentional, disciplined, self-directed focus. The kind where you stop letting your phone, your ex, your boss, your friends, your insecurity, or your excuses dictate your direction. Because if you don't control your mind, the world will do it for you. Here's the truth. No one's coming to save you, not your parents, not your partner, not some guru on Instagram. The only person who can flip the switch is you. And if you're not choosing your goals daily, you're choosing your distractions. That's the binary. It's time to stop being emotionally lazy. Stop outsourcing your power. Stop pretending you have time to waste. Because you don't. Your life is now, and the longer you avoid facing yourself, the longer you stay stuck repeating the same loops, painful loops, confusing loops, loops that drain your energy and make you feel like you're broken when really, you're just out of alignment. You want confidence, earn it. You want peace, protect it. You want change, create it. No one can hand you a breakthrough. You've got to build it, step by step, decision by decision, moment by moment. And that starts with respecting your focus like it's your lifeline. Because it is. Focus is what creates momentum. Focus is what heals burnout. Focus is what separates high performers from people who just wish. But if you're constantly distracted, constantly giving your energy away to drama, guilt, and garbage, you're going to feel stuck forever. Not because you're cursed, but because you keep choosing chaos over clarity. So here's the challenge. For the next 30 days, put your attention where your mouth is. Don't just say you want to grow. Act like it. Track your time, cut the crap, journal your patterns, move your body, keep your word, and when that part of you wants to quit, remind yourself, this is what it means to love myself for real. Loving yourself isn't about spa days and quotes on Instagram. Loving yourself is about not betraying your future self for short-term feelings. It's choosing discipline when you want comfort. It's going to bed on time. It's turning your phone off when you're working. It's walking away from people who drain you even if you still care. And yes, it's about getting brutally honest when you're acting stupid, because that's how we grow. That's how we evolve. We stop sugarcoating. We start facing, and when we focus all that scattered energy back onto ourselves, we become unstoppable. So today, I dare you focus on yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Stop being stupid. You're too smart, too powerful, too damn worthy to keep playing small. Let's go. Every single time you say yes to something that drains you, something that contradicts your values, or something that sabotages your growth, you are betraying yourself. And that betrayal isn't always loud. It's not always a dramatic blow-up or some huge, noticeable disaster. Most of the time, it's quiet, it's subtle. It looks like agreeing to something that makes you uncomfortable, scrolling for hours when you promised yourself a new habit, staying in a job or a relationship that's breaking you down instead of building you up. And the worst part, we justify it. We tell ourselves it's not a big deal, or I'll start tomorrow. But deep down, we know we're shrinking. We're choosing someone else's comfort over our own growth. This kind of self-betrayal becomes habitual, and when something becomes a habit, it becomes part of your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who can't follow through, someone who lacks discipline, someone who never quite finishes what they start. And that identity is poison, because if you believe you're someone who doesn't follow through, why would you even try? Why would you risk failure again? Let me tell you something, you are not broken. You're just misaligned. You've been giving away your power little by little, decision by decision, and what you need is not some lie, faltering breakthrough, or some magic aha moment. What you need is to stop betraying yourself. Start keeping your word to yourself the way you keep your word to everyone else. Because the truth is, if you had a friend who treated you the way you treat yourself, ignoring your needs, breaking promises, talking down to you, doubting you, you would have walked away a long time ago. So why are you tolerating it from you? You think putting everyone else first makes you a good person. You think saying yes when you want to say no is generous or noble, but let me be clear, putting yourself last is not selfless, it's reckless. You are the foundation of your own life, and if you're cracked, exhausted, and depleted, everything built on top of you will collapse eventually. Self-betrayal can disguise itself as kindness, but people-pleasing is not kindness, it's a fear response. It's avoiding discomfort. It's hoping that if you sacrifice enough, eventually someone will validate you, love you, or pick you, and that day never comes, not in the way you want, not in a way that makes it all feel worth it, because you gave up the one person you need most in this world, yourself. So how do you stop it? How do you stop betraying yourself when it's been your normal for so long? It starts with small promises. Not the dramatic life overhaul ones. I'm talking about the micro decisions. Wake up when you said you would. Drink the water. Put your phone down when you said you would. Follow through on that task you've been avoiding. Speak up when your gut says this isn't okay, and when you don't do it perfectly because you won't. Don't spiral. Don't shame yourself. Just acknowledge it and recommit. Self-trust is built like a muscle. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you add a rep. And the stronger that trust gets, the less tolerance you'll have for anything, or anyone, that asks you to shrink. But you have to be honest with yourself. Brutally honest, you have to ask, where am I saying yes when I mean no? Where am I making myself small to avoid discomfort? Who or what am I protecting at the cost of betraying myself? And when those answers come, and they will, they'll sting. That's okay. Pain is a signal. It's not punishment. It's data. It's information about what's no longer working. Let it wake you up, not beat you down. You were not born to play a supporting role in your own life. You are not here to be everyone's backup plan, everyone's emotional sponge, everyone's savior. You are here to live a life that feels aligned. A life that reflects your values, your vision, your voice. So let this be the moment you stop betraying yourself. Let this be the moment you choose truth over comfort. Let this be the moment you realize that the most radical form of self-love is simply keeping your promises to yourself. Because when you stop betraying yourself, everything starts to shift. You walk differently. You speak with more conviction. You attract better energy, not because the world changed, but because you did. You became someone who respects themselves, someone who trusts their own word, someone who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, because their actions already speak for them, and that version of you. That version is unstoppable. You don't need a committee vote, an emotional permission slip, or a round of applause to start putting yourself first. That's the hard truth, but most people are out here waiting. Waiting for their partner to finally get it, for their parents to say, "We're proud of you," for their friends to stop pulling them in every direction. They're waiting for a moment where everything feels right and everyone is happy about it. Newsflash, that moment isn't coming, because no one is going to prioritize you the way you need to prioritize yourself. Let's be real. How many times have you hesitated to make a decision that was best for you because you were worried about what someone else would think? How often have you delayed setting a boundary because you didn't want to rock the boat? How many dreams have you put on pause because you didn't want to seem selfish or ungrateful or too much? You keep waiting for permission, but life isn't school. No one is going to raise your hand for you. No one is going to tell you now is the time to go after it. You have to decide You have to give yourself permission to evolve, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. Especially then, putting yourself first doesn't make you rude. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've recognized that constantly putting yourself last doesn't actually serve anyone. You think you're being helpful, selfless, loyal. But let me tell you, if you're drained, bitter, and resentful, you're not helping anyone. You're enabling dysfunction, and this applies to everything. Your goals, your health, your time, your peace. You don't need to explain why you need a break. You don't need to justify why you're leaving that friendship. You don't need to over-explain your goals, your vision, or your boundaries. No is a full sentence. I need this is enough. Your life doesn't need a co-signer. So, why is it so hard to give ourselves permission? Because deep down, we're afraid. Afraid that if we start putting ourselves first, we'll lose love, we'll lose connection, we'll be judged or misunderstood. And yeah, that might happen. Some people might fall away when you stop playing the role they expected. But here's what you gain, yourself. When you stop waiting for permission and start living in alignment, you gain clarity. You gain energy. You stop feeling so damn torn all the time. You stop overthinking every little move, every little word. You stop questioning your worth every time someone disapproves. You're not responsible for everyone else's reactions. You're responsible for your truth. You're responsible for your decisions. And if someone can't respect your truth, they probably don't belong in your future. Now, let's talk about what giving yourself permission looks like in real life. It looks like saying no without guilt. It looks like taking the job that excites you even if your family doesn't understand. It looks like ending the relationship that's been emotionally starving you. It looks like choosing rest instead of hustle when your body is begging for it. It looks like choosing hustle instead of rest when your goals are calling louder than your excuses. Giving yourself permission is choosing on purpose with conviction again and again. And that's not selfish, that's leadership. You can't lead your own life if you're constantly looking for a sign, not from someone else. Let me be crystal clear, no one is coming to save you, not your boss, not your partner, not some magical opportunity. It's you, it's your focus, it's your grit, it's your refusal to live one more day small, it's your decision to stop negotiating with your potential. You don't need someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, you're allowed to want more. You already are allowed. You've always been allowed. The only person who needed to get on board is you. So today, right now, give yourself permission to take up space, permission to evolve, permission to want what you want, permission to make mistakes, permission to course correct, permission to say, this isn't working anymore, permission to change your damn mind because this is your one life. You don't get a do-over. And the longer you wait for someone else to give you the green light, the more of your own power you give away. Here's your permission slip, signed by you. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your peace, your progress, and your purpose. That's not arrogance, that's ownership. And when you start showing up like that, grounded, clear, unapologetic, the world responds, opportunities open, respect increases, and even if some people fall away, the ones who are aligned with your truth will finally be able to find you. So stop waiting. You're not here to be someone else's version of enough. You're here to be fully you, The bold, clear, courageous version that stopped asking, "Is it okay if I grow now?" You're not asking anymore. You're asterisk doing asterisk. You've been feeding distractions and calling it rest. You've been numbing out with your phone, avoiding what you really need to face. And here's the thing, most people don't even realize they're doing it. You sit down for 5 minutes to take a break, and suddenly it's been an hour of scrolling, comparing, consuming everyone else's life while completely disconnecting from your own. That's not rest, that's avoidance. That's distraction, that's delay in disguise. You don't need more time, you need more intention. You don't need more information, you need more action. But action can't happen if your mental energy is constantly hijacked by noise. Noise from people who don't matter, noise from content that doesn't serve you, noise from your own inner critic amplified by comparison. It's time to clean house. You've got to start guarding your focus like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your focus is your power source. Whatever you feed your focus to, that grows. Feed it to fear, fear grows. Feed it to doubt, doubt grows. Feed it to what other people are doing, and suddenly their path starts to look more appealing than your own. You lose sight of what matters because your attention is divided into 1,000 meaningless fragments. When you wake up, before your feet even hit the floor, you've already been pulled into someone else's world. Your phone lights up, emails, texts, alerts, social media, and now you're reacting instead of creating. You're in response mode, and response mode is the fastest way to stay stuck because it's passive. It's disempowered. It teaches your brain that your agenda doesn't matter, that everyone else's demands should come first. You have to choose differently. You have to consciously create the space to focus. That might mean waking up 30 minutes earlier just to be alone with your thoughts. That might mean deleting apps that drain you more than they inspire you. That might mean saying no to invitations that pull you away from your goals. Not because you're antisocial, not because you're rude, but because your energy is sacred. Your time is sacred, and you can't waste another ounce of it on things that don't push you forward. Now let's be clear. This isn't about becoming a productivity robot. This is about being intentional. There is a massive difference between rest and distraction. Rest replenishes you. Distraction erodes you. Rest reconnects you with your purpose. Distraction numbs you from it. And in a world that profits off your attention, being focused is a radical act. You need boundaries, not just with other people, but with yourself. Boundaries around your time, boundaries around your screen use, boundaries around what you consume, who you listen to, and how much access the outside world has to your inner world. This is not harsh, this is healthy. You cannot transform your life in chaos. You transform in clarity. And clarity demands silence, space, and the courage to be alone with yourself without running for the next dopamine hit. Distractions often show up as the easy option. They're low effort, high stimulation. But the cost is high. They rob you of your momentum. They kill your creativity. They leave you feeling more tired than when you started. Why? Because you're not fueling your soul. You're feeding your avoidance. And that kind of mental junk food might taste good in the moment, but it leaves you bloated with regret. You need to start asking yourself, every time you reach for your phone, every time you click the next video, every time you open another tab, is this helping me or hurting me? That single question can change everything, because if it's not helping, if it's not fueling, if it's not building, then it's breaking, maybe not all at once, but slowly, subtly, in ways you'll only notice once your goals feel too far gone to chase. The truth is, deep down, you already know what you need to focus on. You already know the project, the decision, the change you've been avoiding, but it's uncomfortable, it requires energy, it asks for your full attention. And the easiest way to avoid that discomfort is to distract yourself just enough to feel busy without making progress. But busy is not the same as productive. In fact, most of the time, it's the opposite. So if you want to reclaim your life, start with reclaiming your focus. Your attention. Where does it go? Who gets it? What do you get in return? Most people spend more time cleaning out their email inbox than they do cleaning out their mental clutter. Be ruthless. You don't need more to do. You need less to manage. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to stop leaking the ones you already have. You want clarity. Cut the noise. You want progress. Cut the distractions. You want to feel powerful again. Show up for yourself in silence and do the hard thing you've been dodging. Because at the end of the day, the world doesn't owe you your best life. You owe it to yourself, and that starts the moment you decide that your focus is too precious to waste on anything that doesn't get you closer to the life you know you're meant for. You've got this idea in your head that people will only take you seriously when you're perfect. When you've got it all figured out, when every piece is polished, approved, and ready for display. But here's the real truth. Perfection is just procrastination in disguise. You keep waiting to feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. And if you keep delaying action until you feel 100% confident you'll never move, you'll be stuck in the same spot, clinging to this illusion of someday. You think you need a master plan. No, what you need is movement. Imperfect, messy, sometimes awkward action because it's in the doing, not the thinking, that the answers come. Confidence doesn't show up first. It's not the prerequisite, it's the result. It's the byproduct of doing the hard things before you feel fully prepared. Let me tell you something that will change the way you move through life. You don't need clarity to take action. You get clarity from action. Most of you are out here trying to map out every detail, trying to see the whole staircase before you take the first step. And while you're busy planning your perfect moment, someone else with half your talent but twice your courage is already out there making things happen. That's not because they're better than you, it's because they started. Stop worshiping the idea of perfection. Stop treating hesitation like it's wisdom. Sometimes it's just fear wearing a suit. You convince yourself you're being careful, being thoughtful, being strategic. But deep down, you're just scared. Scared to be seen starting small. Scared to stumble. Scared to be judged. Scared to be vulnerable. But let me ask you this. What's the bigger risk? Being seen making progress, or never being seen at all? This obsession with perfection is a lie. It's a trap, and it's designed to keep you stuck. You will always find flaws in your plan. You will never feel completely prepared, but you know what you can do. You can show up. You can take the first step. You can hit publish. You can say yes. You can raise your hand, make the call, start the project. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, even if you're terrified. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of it. Some of you are waiting for a perfect launch to your business idea, a perfect time to write the book, a perfect feeling before you speak your truth. But the magic doesn't come in the planning, it comes in the doing. Start before you're ready. Speak before the words feel perfect. Build before you know every step. You learn by doing. You grow by trying. You evolve by showing up when it's messy and uncertain and uncomfortable. You don't need more time to get ready. You need 5 seconds of courage to get started, 5 seconds to interrupt the doubt, 5 seconds to make the move. That's it. That's the difference between stuck and unstuck. Not a perfect plan, just a decision to move. So let me ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped waiting to be perfect? What would it feel like to just show up, raw and real, trusting that you'll figure it out as you go? What if the thing you've been calling fear is actually your future calling you forward? You're not going to build confidence by reading more books or listening to more podcasts. You build confidence by keeping promises to yourself. By doing the thing you said you would do, even if it's small, even if it's clumsy. Each tiny step is a deposit in your self-trust account. You keep doing that, and suddenly, you wake up one day with momentum. And don't confuse feedback with failure. You will make mistakes. You will get things wrong. People will criticize. That's part of the process. You want growth without growing pains. Good luck. You want success without scrutiny. doesn't exist. The people who are out there winning, they're not perfect. They're just consistent. They're just brave enough to start and stubborn enough to keep going. Perfectionism is a safety blanket. It gives you an excuse not to try. It lets you off the hook. I'm not ready becomes a permanent hiding place. But life isn't waiting for you to be ready. Life is happening now. Opportunities are happening now. And the longer you wait for everything to line up just right, the more those opportunities slip through your fingers. Here's the deal. You will never be 100% ready, and that's okay. You don't need to be. What you need is to trust that you can handle what comes up. Trust that you can figure it out as you go. Trust that imperfect action will always beat perfect intention. So stop rehearsing your life and start living it. Stop waiting for the applause and start creating the performance. The only way out of self-doubt is through self-discipline. Show up scared, show up unsure, but just show up, because that's where the transformation begins. You're not too late, you're not too old, you're not underqualified, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. You just have to start today, not tomorrow, not when it feels easier, not when it feels perfect. Now, you're not tired because you've done too much. You're tired because you've done too little of what actually matters to you. You've spent your days putting out fires that aren't even yours to put out. You've said yes to requests that drained you, obligations that weren't aligned, and conversations that left you questioning your worth. And here's what happens when you do that long enough. You start to forget who you are. You forget what you want. You forget what it feels like to actually be alive and not just surviving. It's not selfish to prioritize yourself. It's survival. You can't pour from an empty cup, and no one's going to fill it for you. That's your job. And if you don't make yourself a priority, your goals, your peace, your joy, everything that makes life worth living will be the collateral damage of a life spent trying to please everyone else. Stop trying to win approval from people who don't even understand the game you're playing. Stop chasing validation from those who are too distracted by their own noise to recognize your growth. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. What you need is your own presence. You need to show up for yourself consistently, unapologetically, and without delay. Most people will never see the work you're doing behind the scenes. They won't see the early mornings, the late nights, the internal battles you fight just to keep going, but you see it, you live it, and that's enough. Their understanding is optional, your growth is not. It's time to stop abandoning yourself every time someone else needs you. You're not required to be available to everyone at every moment. You're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to say, "Not right now." You're allowed to take a step back from anything or anyone that causes you to forget how powerful you are. That's not weakness, that's wisdom, and let's be real, you already know what you need to do. The truth is, we're not usually confused. We're just scared. Scared to upset people, scared to rock the boat, scared to walk away from what's familiar. But if familiar is killing your spirit, it's time to let it go. Comfort zones are where dreams go to die, and you weren't born to be comfortable. You were born to be courageous. When you start choosing yourself, everything shifts. You begin to notice how much of your life was designed around keeping others happy. You see the patterns you've been stuck in, the ones where you give and give and give, only to end up exhausted, resentful, and unfulfilled. But that's not your destiny. That's just a habit, and habits can be broken. Choosing yourself doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop sacrificing your own mental health to keep everyone else comfortable. It means you stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. It means you protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. You were not put on this earth to be liked. You were put here to live your truth. And sometimes living your truth will cost you relationships, opportunities, and approval. But it will always lead you back to yourself. And that, my friend, is priceless. Don't be afraid to disappoint people. Be afraid of disappointing yourself. Be afraid of waking up one day and realizing that the life you're living belongs to everyone but you, that your dreams got buried beneath expectations, that your voice got drowned out by the noise of people who never even tried to understand you. You owe it to yourself to take up space, to dream bigger, to speak louder, to live bolder. No one else is going to hand you permission. You have to give it to yourself, and the moment you do, everything changes. You stop chasing approval and start attracting respect. You stop playing small and start expanding. You stop apologizing and start owning your story. And guess what? The people who truly love you, the ones meant to be in your life, they won't leave when you evolve. They won't shrink when you grow. They'll cheer you on, they'll rise with you, and those who don't, let them go. Their absence will create space for your alignment. You've got one life, one shot, one chance to do something extraordinary with your time here. Don't waste it living for other people's expectations. Don't spend another day performing a version of yourself that keeps everyone else comfortable while keeping you stuck. Every time you choose yourself, you remind the world who you are. Every time you set a boundary, speak your truth, or take a step toward what lights you up, you become more of the person you were always meant to be. And the more you do that, the more magnetic you become. The more powerful you feel, the more unstoppable you are, because self-respect is the foundation of everything. When you respect yourself enough to prioritize your peace, protect your energy, and pursue your purpose, everything else starts to fall into place. So take a breath, take a step, take back your power, because the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. And it's time you started showing up for that relationship like your life depends on it, because it does.